Oh, I pressed live and I'm live. Merry Christmas. People watching this on later, not live. What's the word for not live? I'll leave it for you to come up with an idea for not live. Later will do. I'm wittering a bit. Oh, I've got someone there. Someone exists. Hello. How do I get the comments up? Oh, it's 40 and Wake Up. Hello. Hello, 40 and Wake Up. I was just having a Bailey's in the candlelight, and I thought, let's see who's out there. We got Auto Spark, Patricia Angelis. Just does Angelis come up? Wow, Shane. Oh, that was a nice surprise. Shane Gallagher's in amongst it. Oh, I got to put my glass on. I can't read the small print. Yeah, I am enjoying it, buddy. I am enjoying it. I have been enjoying it a little too much, hence the spontaneous going live. I haven't even thought of where to put my candle and my booze. Yes, there's still enough light there, that'll do. So how have you all been? What have been your highlights of 2023? And what the hell do you think they're going to pull next in 2024? I'm interested, really curious, been thinking about it a while. So, yeah, tell me what you're doing, what you're thinking. I think this is my first drunk. No, I've been drunk. I've recorded myself, then edited it, but I think my first live drunk. Each swig there is like a pub ration double Baileys. I had one with a Sunday lunch the other day. It was a tenner for double Baileys. 17 people in. Oh, I can see you. 17 people in amongst it now. Oh, Patricia's got to go and pull out the turkey in a minute. Understood. Scrub Smoke in amongst it. Happy Feet. How's the van? The van is a long story, which I shall get to in future videos. Because at the moment there's no sunshine. I got in no charge. My laptop's dead. I'm not editing videos. I suppose I could do it on the phone, but that's fiddly, real fiddly. This is easy though. Live stream's easy. 20 people here. Hello for those watching silently in the darkness. Andrew Banks, any more Christmas songs? Can you kill another song? Yeah. Yeah, I can. While I was on the Elvis case, maybe I should murder another Elvis Christmas song. Okay, good call, Andrew. Oh, why can't every day be like Christmas? I don't know the words. For if every day could be just like Christmas, what a wonderful world this would be. Thank you very much. Thank you for that call, Andrew. Merry Christmas, Daisy Chain. Haven't seen you in the comments before. And Patricia Angelis, out of character, has poured herself a glass of, no doubt, Jamshed Malbec and will rejoin after washing the dishes. No, after dishing out the food. Andrew Banks appreciates me butchering another Elvis Christmas song. Yep, 4x4 fella, Bet, the artist formerly known as Benjamin, is in amongst it. Welcome. Yeah. Yeah, I got halfway through editing those prepping videos, and then life got a bit busy, and then I could not be asked. I just had this, oh, you have no idea, darling. I had this creative writer's block when it comes to editing videos, and I just thought, do you know what? I'd just rather work hard, enjoy my free time, and go to sleep early, wake up early, and go back to work again. Got into one of those routines. So, yeah, bit behind on the editing. 3.5 months. There you go. Yeah, that was probably the highlight of my year was going on the preppers meet in Wales to meet, because often when you do your own research and you try and find out what the hell's going on and sort of using your own instincts and discernment and intuition, sometimes you think, well, hang on a minute, I need to be bouncing off other people in real life to do that. And the way the system's set up is, well, you get censored if you attempt it. But in person, we had about 30 people around a campfire for several nights having a good chat about what we think's going on, what needs to change for us to stop prepping, and how to survive the worst of what's coming next. So that was a great conversation around that campfire. And obviously, I could only film a couple of things for YouTube because I didn't want it censored. I mean, I could have it up there for a few minutes and a few people would see it and it'd be censored. And I've been down that road 7 times already with 7 bans and 7 videos taken down just for telling the truth. And stuff that's later turned out to be true, like it wasn't true the moment I first figured it out. Pauline Prawl, hit the likes all. Oh, what a nice suggestion. And Merry Christmas, Pauline. Is that my Pauline from Norfolk? Pauline, the gong bath therapist. Yeah, and you got Richie from Coventry there, Adventures with Els. Yes, Tim, back in the game. Yeah, not quite so sure how far back in the game I am, but at least I'm a player and I'm trying to play. 4x4 fella, the artist formerly known as Benjamin, says, the same mate, after I got the ban for being naughty, he stopped publishing videos. But 2024, he's going to come back and more YouTube friendly. So watch out for him, and no doubt I'll point you his way once he learns to self-censor like I do. You just got to swap a few words around, like say injection and injectard, and bluehead nose rings, land whales. Oh, I got a tenner from Richie. Oh, cheers, bud. That's really nice. Thank you. And yeah, Sid Precious. Is that candle hot yet? Well, obviously the flame's hot, but there's an inch between the flame and the aluminium exterior. So no, it's not, because the wax acts as an insulator. Interestingly. And Patrick Pierce, hello. Happy Christmas, says Patrick Pierce, and happy feet. I've enjoyed watching your videos for years, but never commented. Welcome. Welcome to the end of shyness and the beginning of confidence and bravery and finding your own voice. Happy feet. Always find them excellent to watch, and thanks for taking the time to do them. Well, that's exactly it, Happy Feet. These videos, I could just do what Chalky or Richard Hewitt do, the boomers do, is just film sort of about 2 or 3 minute long clips and stitch them together with no editing. But I like to put on a bit of a show, make it all action, because it is quite an active and sociable experience, van life. In fact, it's as active and sociable as you want it to be. For example, for the last 2 hours, I was drinking alone in the darkness. Just here, just bottle of Bailey's, candle, and darkness. And I thought, do you know what? I wonder how the UK van life community is doing. And here are, 24 of you. Merry Christmas, all of you. 4x4 fella says Britney Spears, 123. I think that is a Inject Hard reference. Merry Christmas from Sid Precious. Yeah, a lot of Merry Christmases. Yeah, another one from Richie. Yeah, cheers, bud. And, whoa! Oh, no. Orientation. My orientation is incorrect. Well, right. Yeah, thank you, Richie. I mean, when my the Pug Palace broke down, it was, I don't know, 8 or 10 miles from work, and that was one horrible walk to work that morning. And Richie hadn't even seen how horrible my walk to work was, but he turned up the next Saturday and towed me to a spot where I am now that's a lot closer to work, and it's private land off-road. Although you probably noticed, I did have the pigs bother me day before yesterday, and I dismissed them again in 30 seconds flat. They had the pretense of some welfare check, but then they used that pretense to try and gain information about my work location. It was just like, no, there's no information here. Dismissed. And off they toddled. Right. Daisy Chain hardly comments on videos, but I always watch yours, Tim. Oh, that's really touching, Daisy. Thank you. There are a lot of binge watchers and hardcore Socks with Sandals fans, which I never expected, because I thought I was this sort of mildly eccentric British chap who was trying to make a make a good time out of some hard times, and it seems to have resonated with a lot of people. 4,100 of you, according to my subscriber chats. That's massive. I mean, God, imagine if you had to hire a hall with 4,000 people in it. Bigger halls than Joe Biden needs for his presidential rallies, but a bit of politics there, but you didn't even notice, to quote Ben Elton. 4x4 fella, contract is ending in February, so van life adventures. Ooh. Yes, February. I shall try and book a week off in February, Ben, so that I can join you on those. And that's it. The trail runs cold. Samsung wants me to agree to things. No, not going to agree to that. Colin Ortnaboot. That sounds like a northern expression. Ortnaboot. Ortnaboot, I got it. Ortnaboot. Colin is Ortnaboot. Enjoy watching your viz, Tim, especially as I have a Berlingo van with gear linkage issues. Yeah. Well, you saw how I managed to fix it with a wall tie and bloody elastic bands and cable ties. And I drove for like 1,000 miles before I finally got it fixed. I still haven't done the video of it getting fixed yet, because I'm still, on my adventure in Wales to edit. William Bennett, Merry Christmas, Tim. Just switch over from your TV. I'm far more entertaining than television. Yeah, I used to have this catchphrase, didn't I? Still better than television. Like, even if I thought I produced a crap video, I'd used to say at the end, well, it's still better than television. Any other stories about changes of vehicle or whatever? Any conspiracy theories you got there about changes of vehicle? Those are As I always say, spoilers, sweetie. So, Colin Ootnaboot is from North East Scotland. Oh God, I had a grim time in Aberdeen, Colin. Grim, man. I was just parked up in a nice, quiet little space in an industrial area on a Sunday, and I had all these foreign hookers banging on my doors, like, "Hello, hello, you want good time?" Oh, fuck off! Like, right, David. I sorry. Oh gosh, I swore. Oh no. Sorry for any children watching, but no, I can't even. No, no, that's that. I just have to forget that entire story ever happened. If any children are watching, you're always happy, no matter what. Lucky man. P.S. I did 5 years in a van. Good and bad. Mostly good it was. Merry Christmas, says David Wrigley. Yeah, yeah. Because, I mean, I've done house life all my life. Like, obviously, all my childhood in my parents' house, and then, in the renting world as an adult. And then I discovered when I started running my own business, I was just seasonal work. So I'd work in the summer and then go abroad for the winter. And it was always renting, whether it was, long term renting, normally a room with a walk down the corridor to the bogs, or hotel rooms in cheaper countries abroad. And I never thought of van life, never even considered it as an option. But then when I was forced into it, when my income was completely destroyed by whatever you believe happened in 2020, viewer, I think there's I think even the UK Parliament is starting to come around, like, because the excess deaths now are so vast. We're talking like over 10% above the normal amount of people that die in the country every year. No, they try and write it off as, I mean, the artist for the 4x4 fellow has been collecting these newspaper clippings on why people are dying, and it's like, oh, you're sleeping too much. Oh, you're sunbathing too much, or some random excuse like that, or no, we all know what's killing these people at a greater rate than during the so-called pandemic. But that's all I'm going to say about that, unless I have a few more swigs and I might get wound up about it. Yes. Happy Feet says, I rewatched the Scottish episode featuring Tam Spoon. What a guy. Yeah, hoping to do the North Coast 500 in 2024, all doing well. Yeah, I would love to do the North Coast. I mean, I did it before. It was actually during the previous government recession. Remember when the banks said they lost all the money and then we had to give them all the money back? Remember that scam of 2008? During that mini recession, I got a job at, or rather, I got an interview at Dell in Glasgow. Dell, they make computers for offices, and HR decided to intervene because they realised that they couldn't employ the chap that the IT manager wanted, which was me. So there I was in my S-Class Merc in Scotland in 2008 with nothing to do. So I thought, you know what? The hell with it. I'm going to explore the north coast of Scotland and the Highlands. I haven't been there for a long time. And that was a great time in the middle of summer. Wonderful. Colin Ootnabout. I'm in Aberdeenshire. Just outside. Can fit like. Outside. Can fit like. Can fit like. Okay. Now, I did watch a lot of Rab Nesbitt, so I'm familiar with the Glaswegian Gowan slang, but maybe not the east side so much. Right. 4x4 fella says, I have everything on USBs saved for future generations to know the truth. Yeah, there is a massive digital dark age. Like, I was watching the Duran on BitChute just before I pressed go live. And they are two amazing global political analysts at the Duran, two Greek chaps. both called Alex. And they were saying that the Washington Post had like a drop down of, world politics, and you'd have a drop down, and obviously Ukraine used to be the first one, and then they relegated it down the list to the bottom one, and then it disappeared off the bottom. They memory hold it. So I think basically the Russians won. They denazified the Azov battalion. Those people are still prisoners of war somewhere in Russia, probably having a much better time than they would be going around murdering ethnic Russians in the east of Ukraine, those that survived. It's over. It's over. Russia rescued the ethnic-speaking Russian people, and it's over. And I wouldn't be surprised if the rest of the west of Ukraine gets carved up between Poland, Hungary, and who's around that area? Slovakia, Romania? Oh, Patrick Pierce says, do you ever think you'll travel over to Ireland? I used to have this job as a booze cruise tour guide, where I used to go to breweries and beer festivals and that. And I used to take coach loads over to Temple Bar, and I really loved it. And then on the Sunday, we'd do Saturday was basically the Guinness Brewery, the Jameson Distillery, then Temple Bar pub crawl, and I loved it. These were in my drinking days 25 years ago. And then on Sunday, we'd have a nice chill out, and we'd go down to County Wicklow and look at Avoca, where there was quite a famous TV series called, I haven't watched TV for 30 years, Ballykiss Angel, I think, where there was like a central story about a priest trying to pull this bird who was an atheist. I don't know. But it was set in this beautiful village called Avoca, that they renamed Ballykiss Angel for the series. Yeah, so I have been to Ireland. I love Ireland. Yeah, wouldn't that be great to do Ireland? I should do that. Thank you, Patrick. That's my 2024 New Year's resolution then. Have a good look at Ireland, north and south. I've worked in the north. Oh my God, the north of Ireland. Or Northern Ireland, I think, as the British government calls it. The Antrim coast was, anyone who saw Hellboy 2, that was filmed on the Antrim coast, and it's just so spectacular. So spectacular. Like, I'm Welsh, and I'm obviously singing Wales's praises in every chance I get in my videos, but my God, the north coast of Antrim, that is magnificent. Oh, someone who's I don't know, someone just tried to ask me something on WhatsApp. Never mind, I'm busy. Ken Fitlake is, you know what I mean, Harry? Ken Fitlake, you know what I mean? 50 people hit the thumbs up. Yes, that's a direct order from Ben in 4x4 fella. Greetings from Sweden. Our god jul, Nenno. Hur mår du? Ja, jag dricker en stor öl, tack. Skål. Tack så mycket, Nenno. Bara bra, tack. Nenno says back. And Father Ted more like, oh, Father Ted. That was when I saw the scriptwriter for Father Ted on UK Column the other day. And he was talking about, because he wrote The IT Crowd and Father Ted, obviously very similar sense of humor. Right up my street, those two series. Not that I saw them on TV, but brilliant. And yeah, he got into the turf row, the trans exclusion radical feminist row, where I mean, in a way, I'm a turf. I'm all for girl power and equality and all that. But I mean, I cannot imagine how much I'd have to remove from my brain, because I spent 20 years as a competition martial artist, that I would enter the ring, even at my age, I'm still quite strong and at 55, enter the ring with a woman and beat the crap out of her. At 17 stone bloke beating the crap out of a 10 stone bird. I do not see that happening. I do not believe I would ever do that, even in my prime. But really, this isn't a gender equality thing. This is an absolute green light for perverts, pedos, weirdos, and also just professional criminal opportunists. Just say, look, I can get sponsorship and money and titles and world records if I just say, I'm a lady. Now, South Park handled that subject most delicately. Yeah, go and watch it. Yeah, the South Park trans woman athlete. That was absolutely the last word on that subject. The Shaken Hand Private Drinking Club. All right. Well, I haven't got the shakes actually, because I hardly ever drink. So there it is. It's just being held in the air, absolutely rock solid. Drunk half of it. No handshaking. But yeah, I haven't really drunk anything at all for the last 20 years. I just have the occasional tipple. Felte. Skål. Cheers. Right. I haven't got a second screen up because I haven't been able to charge up my laptop, so if you'll excuse me. Oh, Nemo. Oh, yes. Nemo from Sverige. Good kväll, Nemo. I tell you what, on the subject of Sweden, one of my favorite YouTubers that I watch, who manages to tell the truth in code, although he still gets a few videos taken down, is Sanity for Sweden. His name's, well, he calls himself Stefan. I think he might have another name, but he's this giant Viking chap who just runs an organic farm. He used to work in the city in Stockholm, and then he just decided, you know what, I'm going to get away from it all, and he just runs a little organic farm in somewhere, and he's happy, and he really is just the perfect pureblood, absolutely perfect, toxic male pureblood. Perfect, and I just love listening to him, and he's a great researcher as well. If you really don't find that you have time to keep up with all the events, like say you watch the Alex Jones show, that's 3 hours, and that gives you a massive in-depth look into the worldview of geopolitics and cultural indoctrination. If you haven't got time to do that, Sanity for Sweden just does a 10-minute or less, sometimes 5-minute roundup of world news, and it's with his take on it, and it's brilliant. Right. White Van Man 999 in amongst it. It's been a while since I've done a wall squeeze in your honor, White Van Man 999. Merry Christmas. Bopper says evening. And Peter Walsh is hello, Tim. Patrick Pierce, you're welcome. If you do come over, I'll gladly meet up with you and show you around other parts of Ireland if you want. Yes, Patrick, I would really love to have a van life adventure in Ireland. That would be excellent. Vern Sea Fishing. Merry Christmas, matey. Yeah. Richie, Adventures with Elle, says, don the old wig and blusher. Yeah. I'm a lady. Where's your martial arts tournament? I'm gonna I'm gonna bash those. And there are cases of women actually stepping into the ring with genetic males and getting themselves really injured. I mean, there are some crazy things happening in the culture. Don't know if you've noticed. Right. Nemo. Oh, Oh, I had a massive fast forward then. Nemo says yes, the very north of Sweden in Lapland. Oh, is that where Sanity for Sweden hangs out? Yeah. When I was 26, I hitchhiked from Estonia up through Finland up to Rovaniemi, and then crossed over into Tornio in the north of Sweden and went down to Östersund where there was a 24-hour beer festival, free. That was good. And then I saw Gothenburg and Stockholm, and went Suroland and went over into Norway. Had a good look down from Trondheim down the fjords of Norway. Scandinavia was perfect before the guests that appear to have taken over with their little grenade hobbies. Right. Mystic Hair, Andy. Yeah, you've been quiet in the comments. Although I did notice that you commented the other day and accused you of being very quiet in the comments. So welcome back to the world of commenting, Andy. You were one of the OGs from season 1, actually, Andy. Yeah, you've been with me for 4 years on this rather unexpected adventure. Desmond O'Brien from Dereham in Norfolk. I've tried to see you a couple of times, mate. We just crossed paths every time because I was in Norfolk for quite a while, but just missed you a few times. Tommy AU says Sweden. Without any context, so I don't know whether he is Swedish, whether he's been to Sweden, whether he's from Sweden, or whether he just randomly typed some words. Right. Below average wild camper. Well, aren't we all if we're humble? Hi, Tim. Tripped over your channel a few days ago. Haven't been able to take my eyes off it ever since. Binge watcher. Below average wild camper. In fact, I'm going to have a drink to the new binge watcher. Below average wild camper. He goes on to say, gone back to season 1 and is binge watching it. They are a work of art, Tim. Well, one does aim to please below average wild camper. It is an art form, darling, and very few artists are appreciated during their lifetime, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for your genuine appreciation of my humble art form. Vern Sea Fishing, making our way through series 2. Off you can videos. Look, I don't demand spelling standards from people, so it's okay. In fact, I don't demand much sense of people, so that's okay. Patrick Pierce, Wild Atlantic Way, maybe our inland counties. Yeah, I don't mind as long as there's a pint of Guinness at the end of the evening, or Baileys with ice. Count me in, Patrick. Nemo, if you've been past Umeå, that's my hometown. I've only got this device open. I'm not sure if I've been to Umeå. Umeå's actually in the north, isn't it? I'm not by the border. Yes, I've been there. By the Finnish border. Umeå. Peter Walsh, happy Christmas. Merry Christmas, Peter. And also the bug out shop, Lee, in amongst it. Yeah, I'll get to you in a minute, Lee. Yeah, Peter. I know there's a lot of there's a cultural change around saying Merry Christmas. And I don't get it because, like, I'm not a Christian, but I do Christmas. And I don't really care whether you call it Yuletide or solstice or Christmas. It's the same party. You decorate trees, you drink and be merry, you make peace with your fellow man. All is good. And if you want to believe that God gave birth to himself so that he could sacrifice himself to himself for sins that he himself came up with, which most of us disagree with, like, well, there are only 3 laws from the Bible that are in common law, which is perjury, murder, and theft. The rest are like, whatever, Christians, you do you. Yeah, hating gays, slavery, no thank you. Right. Yeah, Lee from the bug out shop. Yeah, that was an absolute hoot, coming around to meet you and the preppers, many of whom I didn't know before, at your Mid Wales bug out. And yeah, we had a great time on the rifle range, the campfire, and the other activities there. Brilliant. And of course, your shop there, where I've still got, hang on, I've still got a load of storable food here, which I'm going to eat over the next few days when they're closed. If you have like a real emergency when the shops are closed over Christmas, and you can prepare for that by going to the bug out. Not like me to have an untidy van, is it? And what bloody hell did I put them? I'm not as prepared as I think I am, but oh yeah, I do have my storable food down there. Let's go and get it. There it is. Yes, this is the kind of stuff that Lee sells in Bilfwells, right? Is you can have dried storable food like this. This is basically porridge with fruit, or this is Lancashire hot pot, which is a beef stew, and that is already moist, so it has water in. You just have to microwave it up, because these are all very well. They're very light, so you can carry more of them. But obviously these don't require you to have water and fire necessarily. I mean, you can just pop these into the microwave oven at work or whatever, or by the outlet of your diesel heater and just warm them up. So yeah, if you find yourself travelling through Wales, pop into Bilfwells and find out where the bug out shop is at Micey Cummer, I think. And yeah, do that. Yeah, so that. Yeah, so that was absolutely great adventure, because it seems, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Lee, but I didn't pay any entrance fee for that mission. I think what Lee was planning was basically all the people in Britain that he thought were most likely to survive the inevitable forthcoming zombie apocalypse. He just got them all together in one place, and we all met, chat, exchanged information. We destroyed cans of Bud Light with guns and crossbows. That was good. Oh, no. Oh, no, my orientation is wrong. Yeah, that was great. And what a lovely place up there. And if you're loaded and into glamping, then check out his treehouse complex. Just stay there and chill out in the treehouse and enjoy the common rooms. Absolutely fantastic. And if you're on a lower budget and you still love glamping, he's got his solar-powered kind of pods overlooking the Cambrian Mountains and the forest there. Lovely view. Great. What a great spot the bug out is. Great project, Lee. Amazing. There should be one in every county, but there just isn't. I mean, you go to, your Trespass, or you go outdoors, or some other shop, and it's just another high street franchise. But the bug out shop is there for us, the people who want to be ready for whatever happens, even if it doesn't happen. Uncle Jay, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, Uncle Jay. Nemo, very north indeed, but the Finnish border is still more up north. Yeah, yes. Obviously, I went to Rovaniemi in Finland, And then I went down to Tornio to for the finish of the official border between Finland and Sweden on the north coast of the Baltic, and then went up again into Jokkmokk. There's like a huge aerial there, and that marks the huge antenna, and that marks the Arctic Circle. And I was up there in midsummer, um, and I just saw the sun go round and round and round the sky. Brilliant. Tony 78 UK, happy Christmas and best wishes, Tim. Thank you, Tony. Got 50 people in here now. Wow. Patrick Pierce, don't drink myself, but I could buy you a pint of Guinness and treat you to a lovely stew. Wow. What more could I ask? 4x4 fella, agreed. One of the highlights of 2023. Happy Christmas, Lee. Yeah. Benjamin was there. You've probably seen. I think I've done a couple of videos already, but there's loads more still to edit. But I had a bit of writer's block this autumn, so I've knocked the video editing on the head a bit. Did a few shorts and whatever. So some of the stories you're getting are a little bit out of sequence with the timeline, but hey. You know, I'm doing all this myself. I mean, despite previous conspiracies, I haven't got a film crew or graphic designers and video editors. I'm just one bloke in a van, off-grid, trying to show everyone what it's like. Bug Out Shop says to Ben, hope you're enjoying a bit of time off. Daisy Chain says, love the bushcraft videos, Tim. Wish there were some weekends like that in Ireland. Well, there will be, Daisy. I'll announce when I'm coming over in Ireland next year. And we can do some bushcraft. And that's not a sexual harassment reference or any gynecological joke there at all, Daisy. So don't get triggered. Don't me too. Don't hashtag me too me, Daisy. Nemo, I'm off for dinner. Happy holidays. We don't say happy holidays around here, Nemo. It's Merry Christmas. Got it. Yeah. V says, Nemo. Bug Out Shop. That van has a place for everything and everything in its place. Yeah. I mean, I got to the point where I was contracting where I wanted everything to fit in the boot of my car. And I had some big cars. I had like an S-Class Merc and a Jag XJ and a BMW 7 Series when I was IT contracting. So I had a big boot. But everything just fit into like 3 suitcases in the back of my cars, and then I'd relocate to wherever the job was and find somewhere to live there. Never thought that the vehicle itself could be the home. Never occurred to me. Just never occurred to me till I was forced into it. Although fortunately I had discovered Brett's, the urban stealth camper van man, the artist who's now known as Urban Art TV. Yeah, he lived in a something like an old Peugeot Expert, I think it was, and yeah, he really showed me not only how easy it is to live in a van and have a laugh, but also how to make videos with a sense of humour, and learned a lot from him. All hail Brett. In fact, I'm going to drink to Brett because he is the OG of British realistic van life. He watched so many van life channels. Oh my god. I mean, probably you lot watch more van life channels than me because I just get triggered watching them because they're scripted. They're like, oh, here I am, I'm stealth camping. I wonder if I'll get caught. Oh, what's that noise? Oh, I'm really scared. Oh, and you get like 40,000 views on crap like that. And all it is just some bloke in the back of a van in the middle of nowhere just acting. It's bonkers. And then you get the thots, which is the birds in bikinis who hang around in the back of some motorhome that Daddy made for them, and they just go next to lakes at sunset and go, oh, this is so authentic. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, bug out shop. Lee says, "Cheers, Tim." Yeah, cheers, Lee. Thank you for that great invite to that great survival weekend. That was brilliant. More videos to come on that when I get around to it, and also when I can charge my damn laptop up. And I'm off work for a week or so now, so that'll be that'll be a while. Yeah, I've been basically charging my devices up at work, and then if I feel like it, edit a video when I get back in the van. And I just haven't been feeling it recently. You just got. I mean, there's a lot of you there that don't produce videos, and you just watch other people who do make videos, and I get that. It's like the old television model, isn't it? Where you're not a creative or a producer yourself, you just watch other people who are creative producing stuff, and I get it. But all these people who are saying mad things to me in the comments normally are people who don't produce their own videos and don't know the work that's involved in it. And yeah, Richie says I'm the real deal, mate. Oh yeah, oh god, yeah, a little bit too real for my liking, Richie. Yeah, a chalky. Wow, you get a drink, old boy, because you installed the. Got it. You installed the solar panel on the Pug Palace. And I've had many laughs with you since at multiple locations. Chalky, what a guy, what a guy. He really shows you how possible it is for boomers to really have a great time van lifing. And I've been following other boomers as well, Chalky. Trevor and Pat, Van Life on the Run. They're a couple of people in their, married couple in their 70s, and they are having a great retirement, just going around the country in a van. I mean, they're doing the route of spending their pension on camping spots. Normally 15 to £20 a night, low budget camping spots where they got the typical plugins and electrical plugins. Oh, it's really starting to rain here. Yeah, but I do enjoy watching them because they're authentic. They're not scripted or anything like that. They just get on with it. Nor's Chalky's not scripted. My God, he just points the camera and says anything. Doesn't give a hoot. No more hoots to give. Although those aren't Chalky's words. So 4x4 fella says, thanks, Lee. You have some proper chill time, mate. You earned it. Yeah, Lee. Have a Merry Christmas, Lee, and thanks for that amazing invitation to hang out with preppers in mid Wales. That was amazing. In fact, people wonder what the golden age of humanity would be like. But actually, when you meet up with other people who are awake in large numbers like that, you get to see it, because everybody does whatever is required for everyone to have a good time, and no money needs to change hands. Just nothing's too much trouble. What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And you go around asking everyone else, what do you need? What can I do? Can I help? Wonderful. Wonderful. You don't need money to run a society. Now, the problem is that only works in a high trust, tight knit environment, and humans only evolved in tribes up to 150. After that, they would split, and then, well, that's how humans colonized the whole world, was by a successful tribe would breed and split, and an unsuccessful tribe would wither and cave, and that'd be it, or interbreed. So, despite all our technology and advancements, we are still Stone Age people. We still only have the wiring to deal with tribes. Like, I got 48 people in here now that would be like the size of a third the size of a Stone Age village, wouldn't it? And that's just about enough people to to deal with, frankly. Uh, but yeah, we're dealing with. I mean, there was an attempt by the globalists, which I do hope is failing, to take over the whole damn world and all that incredible diversity of history, culture, and language, and tradition and religion. Nah, mate, too soon. You peaked too soon, globalist. But we forced your hand. You had to peak too soon because you just had to try on, didn't you? You just had to try on your global empire, world domination plan. And we figured it out. And do you know what? We've actually settled on the nation state now as a reasonable way of being in control of the destiny of the people within that nation. And I hope it'll stay within the nation, because I've had enough of people coming from failed cultures and nations who want to come to nations that haven't failed. And do they adopt our culture as soon as they arrive? Just say, do you know what? Do you know what? This Islam bollocks. This has really messed my country up. Do you know what? I'm going to go to Britain and I'm going to forget all that madness. No, they don't. Okay, that's enough about that. That's a bit controversial. Yeah, don't get triggered, says says Daisy Chain. Exactly. Don't get me started, man. Yeah. Philip Evans, evening all. Hope everyone's well and enjoying your day, whatever your beliefs. Exactly. Happy Kwanzaa, fucking Ramadan, whatever. Oh, Christmas. Can't mention that. Happy baby Jesus. Oh, Daisy Chain's an island. Oh, yes, that's right. Because yes, we had that joke about bushcraft earlier on. Hopefully, I'll manage to stay out of jail for that little indulgence in political incorrectness. The ones with guys cooking some crap in their luxury conversion in some supermarket car park. Utter BS. Exactly. Oh, Richie. Oh, dear. There are some absolutely tragic van life channels that get like 10 times the views that mine does. All scripted, all crap. And God, as soon as they start popping out the lentils, that's it. And I'm just like, no, next. Labrat says, hey. Yeah, they tried to turn us all into lab rats, didn't they? Not the purebloods. We're the control group. Tell you what, though, if the purebloods were suffering an excess death as much as you see in the injectards, it would be the national headline news in every country every day. But it's not. We know who's dying and why. Merry Christmas, Elvis, Mr. Socks, says Flying Sheep Rally. Thank you for the endless entertainment throughout 2023. Long may it continue, and best wishes for 2024. Well, thank you very much. Mon Man. Yeah. Yeah. I do like a Bailey's, says Tony78, but Bailey's doesn't like me. Get bad acid indigestion. There's a cure. There's a cure, Tony. Is you have to drink raw greens like that and milk with your cereal and tonic water, reduced price, naturally. But I hardly ever drink, so the only reason I'm drinking Bailey's is it does agree with me very much. Yes, yes, you're exactly right there, Tim. Yes, so are you. Oh, I thought you said it first, Tim, so that's why I'm agreeing. No, you're absolutely right, Bailey's. See, it agrees with me. Traveling Chalk's World says, and many more laughs to come in our future. No more tosses to give. Stay safe, my friend. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm safe. I'm safe, Chalky. 4x4 fella has no time for vegan van life channels either. God, remember I was going shopping with Charlie's Van Life. Subscribe to Charlie's Van Life, everyone. He can't do a live stream. He was going to come and meet me, but he's in Norfolk at the moment. It's a bit of a drive to Oxfordshire, so he didn't. But it's all right, Charlie, wherever you are. Cheers, and more people subscribe to Charlie's Van Life. He's a decent chap, and I wish him well in his YouTubing. Yeah, and me and Charlie, we went shopping, and we saw like the vegan section in Lidl, and I said, "Do you want any of that, Charlie?" And he went, "Nah, that's absolute poison, all of it." Philip Evans, if God had wanted us to be vegan, why did he make bacon taste so good? There are plenty of things that are enjoyable and no good for you, Philip. Not sure that's a good one. But I'll tell you what, though. If why is it that all carnivores have incisors? As you look in cows' mouths, they are unable to chew meat, whereas we're perfectly built for chewing meat. Perfectly built. We have the hunter's eyes facing forward so we can see in stereo. Herbivores have eyes at the side because they think something else is going to kill them, whereas we're not worried about that. We're eyes forward. We got arms that aren't required for transport. You can hold things in them like spears and dead deer carcasses. Yeah, we're obviously hunters. Obviously hunters. It's a ridiculous fallacy of vegetarianism. In fact, all vegetarianism is, and veganism, is a shortcut to malnutrition. And I know that because I know vegans. Oh, the reason you know if someone's a vegan is they'll tell you. You know, it's not a secret. It's like some virtue signal. And here's a statistic, I researched this one. The average vegan gives up after 5 years due to malnutrition. You get women's with their periods stopping, and men will always change their lifestyle when they can't get a boner. Billy No Mates, just make sure you don't get done by the old Bill for being drunk in charge. Yeah, I think I scared off the old Bill yesterday. I've got this really good habit now of dismissing the filth in 30 seconds, and I did it again day before yesterday, just to sleep in the back of the van. It's like not even turned to look to them, like, oh, the filthy, like the police are here. And they said there's a welfare check, and I was like, oh, is it? And then they want to know where I work. What's wanting to know where I work got to do with a welfare check? But there were some really naive people who commented who didn't quite figure that situation out. Yeah, read the comments of that needless police intrusion video, and you can see some people. Only some people didn't get it, because I then put out a survey of what do you think these police welfare checks are all about, and 75% of you, or some like more of that, it turned out to be 80% at the end, said, you know, they're ranging anywhere from, you know, just being nosy to an intrusion of privacy to an extremely sinister thin end of the wedge of a police state. And even 7% of you thought it was something worse than the above. My God. We're already in Orwell's wank fantasy, are we? All right, Patrick Pierce says, no need to worry, Tim. My wife, Daisy Chain, is not easily triggered. Oh, you're a husband and wife combo. Ah, that's good. That's good. Colin Ootnaboot there is one vegan couple who drive around in a converted furniture van, and it's vegan this and vegan that every 4 minutes. Real pain in the hoop. Yeah, yeah, I know who they are, Colin. Happy Clappies, whatever they call themselves. Uh, the Happy Meal. I don't know what they call themselves. Mad, isn't it? Happy Campers. They, yeah. I was watching them because I thought how interesting, that a middle class couple thought that a van was a better housing solution um, than bricks and mortar. And I thought, what an interesting concept that they're going into, even if they probably could have thrown all their money, like 10 times their probably quite high combined annual salary at a house that was no better than the ones their parents got for a fifth the price. And but they didn't do that. They got in a camper van. So I was intrigued by that story until they slagged Liam off. They didn't just Liam the terrible. He was in a business. One of the people who built their van for them. Those happy days. That's it. Thank you, Richie. And instead of like doing it in person, just say, oh, we got a problem. The door's leaking, or this and that, or this doesn't quite fit. I mean, anyone who's been in the building trade or knows that there are always snags that happen. Even if you say a computer programmer, that there's debugging and testing, and then you've got to do, some patches and rewrites. It's in any trade you've got to do testing to make sure everything works. It's quality control. It's a natural thing, and sometimes the customer is part of the quality control process because you don't really know what a product is like until you live with it and you get to explore all its nooks and crannies and foibles, and then you can report back to the manufacturer and say, oh, I got a problem with this. You don't have to make a video slagging the bloody manufacturer off for bending over backwards to build your dream mobile home for you. And I stopped watching them after that. They really put me off. And a few other van lifers have been like that as well, And I imagine I've been like that too, where some people have been really put off by something about me and thought, I'm never going to watch you again. And I get it. Right, let's get back to... Yeah, Richie says their van is always screws up, and they always off to India half the time. Oh, really? Oh no, they're into the fake enlightenment. I travelled to India when I was 27, and there are all these frickin' blue-haired, nose-ring didgeridoo types who are like, oh, searching for some kind of inner peace and enlightenment, man. I'm doing ashram this, I'm following this guru called Sri Raj, whatever. Okay, oh man. Oh, yeah, I just went raving and go. I had a great time, and then came back and yeah. Although I did have a bit of an adventure in India, I must say. Even though you'd meet those types, these people on fake, these trustafarians, people with rich parents on fake enlightenment journeys. I actually ended up having a great time because I went out there to see a family member and ended up hooking up with some Hells Angels bikers from Coventry that I moved in with. And they were a scream, absolute scream, because I had this, I joined in with them on their biker gang. Honestly, once you're in with a Hells Angels biker gang, you are in the safest place imaginable. And that's big up to Coventry for their chapter there. And I got involved with them and I was traveling around with them, and that was just brilliant. We went round down to Kerala and Karnataka and in the southern states of India on a single cylinder Royal Enfield 550. That was brilliant. That was an absolutely brilliant adventure, for when I did when I was young. Yeah, but there were some there who really they weren't on a genuine trip to spiritual enlightenment. They were on a very publicized, Oh, yeah, only my path to spiritual enlightenment works because I'm seeing Sri bloody Bhaga Raj Gajni, whatever the bloody guru was called, and you're not, therefore I'm more enlightened than you. And I'm like, okay, mate, I'll just chill out exploring the uh, the jungles of southern India and the temples and having a great time with some Hells Angels. I had a great time. But there was once, right, we all got a little bit tipsy and other causes were involved. And I came off my motorbike and wasn't injured, but I skidded into a ditch. And there was a bloke there digging a ditch with a stone. They didn't even give him a shovel. And he was the first to ask me, "Are you okay, sub? Are you okay, sub?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay, man." Just picked up the bicycle, put it on the stand, and then I saw this Kit Kat and Pepsi Cola stand opposite where I crashed the Royal Enfield. And he said, "Oh, that's right." I said to him, "Do you want a Kit Kat and a Pepsi?" And he said, "Oh, if you're sure, sir, if you're sure, very expensive." And I went and bought this Kit Kat and Pepsi and came to about 40p, right? I said, "What's really expensive?" And he said, "That is my day's pay, sir. Day's pay, 40p every day, sir." Well, it was 100 rupees at the time. 100 rupees a day, 40p a day. Hang on. Yeah, that's it. I can't remember what the conversion rate was anyway. It was, no, hang on. A rupee was tuppence, whatever it was. It worked out to his day's pay. And I was like, my God. So I just gave him like, a big rupee note I had in his pocket. So I said, you and your wife, you go out for a nice meal, and thank you, sub, thank you, sub. And he carried on digging the trench with a stone. And then when I realised there were these old boys with beards like mine, probably my age, who'd come up to you just with their hands out. They wouldn't say anything. And there was this sub-denomination of the rupee called the paisa, which is like sub-denominations of tuppence. And they would go down to really low values. And these old boys with grey beards, they'd just be happy to get a sub-denomination of tuppence for an alm, just to help them out. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? And it's like that when you go to a different culture where all of a sudden you realize there is just no depth. Without a welfare state, there is no depth to poverty, no depth to mental illness. It just goes right down into a black hole of a bottomless pit. It's quite something when you begin to appreciate that. Yeah, not Frau and Liam at all, says Richie. And Labrat says, yeah, they're typical clickbait YouTubers. Felt so bad for Liam. Exactly. Liam's yeah. He's a nice chap. I mean, he gets on with it. He's obviously classic British eccentric. He gets on with it, you know. He's he's not at all like, he doesn't hide his light under a bushel. Like, a lot of people are mad and don't know it, and others are mad and don't show it, and others like me are just mad and enjoy it, right? And he's right up there, and he's having a great time, and he's honest about his problems all the time. Very authentic chap. Yeah, and Bopper says Liam put out a video where he hardly charged him a lot. Yeah, and why would you for snagging? Because you've already done the main job. Snagging's just part of any development, isn't it? Do you prefer Madras curry or Vindaloo? Says it mofo. I'll tell you what I like is, if I am going out for an Indian, I will look at where the Indians are going. And I used to work with Indians a lot in the software world because they'd be the testers. And you'd always ask them where they go and you'd join them. And that would be the real deal. And the problem is, it depends which state they're from. If they're from Gujarat or Chennai, they normally have vegetarian samosas or some bloody, like, pick and mix bag of dried noodles with nuts in or something horrible like that. But Yeah, I must say I'm not a big fan of Indian food. Or I went through a stage in my 20s of Indian restaurants and loved it, and I could just eat anything off the menu. And I got, and also when you go to an Indian restaurant, it might not really be Indian. It might be Pakistani, Nepalese, Bangladeshi. You really don't know, do you? And India is a massive country. Well, it's a continent, isn't it? Really, it's a subcontinent. It's 1.3 billion people living there, all different cultures. It's as big and as varied as Europe. So you can't really say there's such thing as Indian food, really. All right, Happy Feet. Have you got some barbecue Pringles with cheese? Barbecue Pringles. My bear with me. I did have some, and when they fell down, I heard them fall down, and that was the end of that. Talk amongst yourselves. No, that's carpet glue. Ugh. Yeah, so I have got some Texas barbecue Pringles with cheese, but yeah, I already had actually four. Let me show you what my dinner was: 4 pork pies and um, a bowl of shredded wheat with 4 shredded wheat in. That's all I've eaten today. So yeah, very Merry Christmas. Thank you, Happy Feet, for that idea. Patrick Pierce. I've watched Liam's videos, and I can tell you one thing: he does a lovely job converting vans. Yeah, he does. I mean, he lived in several vans he built himself, and if ever I have a business again one day, having built a van, I would love to get into that game of building vans, because I know what I would like in different levels of luxury and different budgets for vans. I mean, I've already built the absolute bargain basement low budget thing possible, which is the Pug Palace. Although a bit of high budget came in because I accidentally had a viral video with JB Smith's silent diesel pump. And that's had like 100,000 views or something silly like that. And JB's made so much money out of those sales that he installed a diesel heater and leisure battery and internal wiring. Wow. Yeah, just really showed me a whole new direction of what kind of technology is available that you can build quite small and put in a van. That was something. Didn't know you were into motorbikes. Saw your moped video. Did you have bikes when you were younger, Tim? I've always, not in Britain. I don't actually hold a motorcycle license. I mean, I've got my driving license here. Uh, don't know if anyone can tell, but I don't have a motorcycle license. But that hasn't stopped me abroad owning motorcycle licenses. The first time I think I did it, I was 24 on the holiday in Cyprus, and me and a mate just decided that we'd go and rent a motorcycle and travel around Cyprus, to the Troodos Mountains and Paphos and Curium and Limassol and Ayia Napa. Absolutely brilliant. My God, I shagged this absolutely perfect Norwegian bird. Meta, her name was, Meta Leonis from Drammen. Wow. On a sun lounger bench on the Ayia Napa beach under the moonlight, and it's like a 2 foot deep sea out there. Oh, wow. It's good to have nights like that. And yeah, that was something. How, yeah, yeah, and obviously I've done a whole series separate to the van life videos of motorcycling around Asia, where I show people what it's like to drive a motorcycle around Cambodia mostly, because that was the place I ended up really loving the most out of Southeast Asia. I mean, Thailand's great, but the roads are very fast. And you get the kind of stereotype Brits abroad type, you know, the people that aren't posh enough for Benidorm. We're talking bald head, football shirts, go to Benny Hill pubs to watch repeats of Fawlty Towers and eat steak and chips. Those type of Brits abroad. A lot of them in Thailand, you know, in Jomtien and Rayong County. But once you go into Cambodia, you just get the lone wolf Sigma male types. My kind of man's man types. You know, you can be good friends with them, but you can't cross them types of blokes. And yeah, I like them. I like them because those kind of people who go to Cambodia tend to learn the language, tend to delve in the culture, understand the women, you know, avoid the girly bars in the capital and just go out and just live their lives to their fullest with more freedom than you ever get in this country. Yeah, God, I love Southeast Asia. I did travel around Vietnam too, but I was this was in 2008, and I was tailed by police the whole time. You know, and you could tell they're police because they'd have ironed white shirts, mirror shades on like this. Didn't look anything like the locals, and they just bloody follow you everywhere. And what's more, they'd replace your staff. Like the first night I came from the airport, I booked into this hotel, and I asked the hotel receptionist, "Where can I go and get a beer?" You know, well, I said in Vietnamese, you know, đi đảo beer. And yeah, so he said, "I'll show you." So I went on the back of his motorbike, and we went to this brewery, this craft brewery in Saigon, and we just had loads of different local beers. And that was a good night. And then the next day, he was replaced by a guy with an iron shirt and mirror shades on. It's like, oh, fuck's sake, you want to see my passport again? I said, no, you pigs can fuck off. So I then left, and I got into a Ciclo, which is like sort of a motorcycle rickshaw, but the guy's behind you, and you're in like the steerable part of the front with two wheels either side of you. And I just said, you know, where's the cheapest hotel you know? And he just took me to a cheap hotel, which was about $8 a night, and I stayed in there. And he was my mate then, so I just said, look, here's $10. He said, $10? Like, that's like a month's pay to them, and he didn't mind. So I just said, yeah, mate, show me where you drink with your friends this evening and where you eat, and I'll have a meal and some drinks with you. And that was amazing. That was real. Next day, got out of that $8 hotel. Who was there waiting for me on a Ciclo? You know, a little rickshaw. Some guy with an ironed white shirt and mirror shades. And I thought, fuck this. So I just thought, fuck it. I just went straight to the airport and left. I thought, this is ridiculous. You know, having the worst undercover police following you ever in Vietnam. So I ended up settling. I did Laos as well. Laos. Oh, wow. Obviously, totally communist. Even now, total communist. And you could rent bikes out there. The most beautiful women in the world. Oh my goodness. They could just smile at you from 100 yards, and you were like, ah. Yeah, that's enough of my midlife crisis of motorbikes in Southeast Asia. Billy No Mates, they are not in their removal truck at the moment because it broke down again. I'm glad you told me, Billy No Mates, because I don't watch those buggers. Not since they slagged Liam off. That was terrible. He does rather like their adventures that they get up to. Okay, you enjoy their vegetarian adventures that are. You enjoy it. Cheese and biscuits. Cheese and biscuits. Excellent. Yes. Well, that's what I was faffing around trying to find where the Pringles fell, because you know what it's like, where an untidy van is like archaeology, where things that you bought a month ago are going to be under 4 weeks worth of sedimentary layers. Oh no, my underpants fell out my washing bag. Oh no. Yeah, so I'm not going to work too hard to find the Pringles now. Well, I do fancy a Pringles. That's gone. Throw away. That's gone. Throw away. Alright, Colin, oot and a boot. Carpet glue and cheese. That'll keep the vegans happy. Yeah. What a recipe. Happy feet. I only ask because I started eating them with cheese after watching your vids. Yeah, I mean, Texas barbecue Pringles and cheese. Or, oh my God, I've got this Chinese friend and she gives me so Tui Bao Bing. Obviously, she goes into Chinese shops, and whenever I go back to my postal address in Bath, I get these so Tui Bao Bing, and these are the best biscuits for cheese, without question. Especially if you're a extra mature cheddar chap like myself. Although I will stoop to a cranberry Wensleydale in an emergency. 4 shredded wheat, legend. That's it. You got to keep it regular, Philip. A 4x4 fella, Ben says, that's the thing I'm going to struggle with, Tim, is diesel heater on my build. You know where I am, Ben. I will help. I've been through diesel heaters twice, so I know what you mean. Colin, oot and a boot. Lots of heater pages and viz 4x4 fella. And I would direct you to mine, season 4, where I first decided to install the diesel heater. And I show you laying it out, the entire schematic of the actual machine, not a diagram, the actual machine laid out as where it goes in the exact order and what everything does. Yeah. And Zev Zircon, it's called Karma. What is called Karma? Zev Zircon. What is called Karma? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. What is called Karma? A random... There's probably one of these people with blue-haired nose rings playing didgeridoos that went to India seeking some kind of fake enlightenment. Or perhaps Zev Zircon. You can... How Happy Days is called Karma. Is that the new name of their channel? Do you know what? I get this a lot in the comments, these comments that are just not meaningful, and you have to ask questions to dig down to the original meaning, and by the time you've asked 2 questions, you're like, do you know, I'm not that curious as to what the answer is anyway. And Monman says it's with reference to the vegan van. The vegan van is called Karma, is it? The vegan van is called Karma. Right, there are 47 people in here. Can I have some people who can put a sentence together in the evening of Christmas Day? And believe me, I know it's hard. Karma, the van life breaking down. Vans always break down. It's part of van life. I wouldn't say it matters whether you're a good person or a bad person, or whether your deeds are good or bad as to whether the van breaks down. It's just entropy, the second law of thermodynamics. There's only so long a dynamic system can maintain stasis or equilibrium before something bloody breaks. Especially with Euro 5 or 6, where they started buggering around with DPFs and PATs, Eolus fluids, and what do the Euro 6 use? Basically, wee uric acid, and they call it AdBlue, but it really is wee. And it's a way of releasing the nitrates in the exhaust gas and turning them into nitrogen. Yeah, old vans are better for and easy for parts, exactly. Yeah, AdBlue's the worst. And the clue is in the name, Euro 5, Euro 6. Basically, there's this big thing, right? That the more you inject children, the more that they seem to be dying young, and you think, oh, it's the thing that's causing these injected children to die young is diesels. Yes, let's put some ridiculous contraptions that ruin diesel engines, bolt them on. Let's bolt on a DPF filter that strangles the exhaust with soot and is bound to clog up every few months. Let's do that. I've been having a binge watch of O'Reilly's. He's a mobile mechanic who goes around sorting out DPFs. Very interesting chap, Jimmy O'Reilly, to be sure, to be sure. And that's it, the trail runs cold. I haven't even done my hair today. Oh, look at me. Right, I'm going to do my patented 5-second comb over. Are you ready, folks? Right. Before. After. That'll do. I'm just grateful I got any hair at all at 55, really. Not only that, I've got all my strength, all my intelligence. My Todger still works, as usual. I mean, when I was younger, I used to think 55 was old. And now I'm here, I think, no, these people just had really crap diets and exercise and too much stress and not enough healthy attitude towards, enjoying the bad times and the good times just the same. Yeah, Colin Oot and About loves Riley's. Yeah, nice chap. He's an authentic chap. I'm having so much trouble finding mobile mechanics, as you'll find out in future videos of my van life channel. But he's one of those. He only operates in Bedfordshire. Oh, I'm getting the hiccups now. But he's mainly specialising in DPF problems, and he'll do anything else, but mainly DPFs are the main bane of his life and everyone else's life who owns a van less than 10 years old, frankly. And he's so authentic, he actually left his number out on the side of his van. He gets calls like people saying, oh, can you advise me what to do with this and that, and I got this problem and that problem. And he's so nice, he used to actually talk to these people. Whereas if I found, someone somehow found out my contact details somehow and started phoning my personal phone number, they'd get very short shrift with me indeed. Very short shrift indeed. So yeah, I mean, I only give out my personal details, obviously, to a select few people who've proven themselves over long periods of time to be decent chaps and chapesses. There's some people who asked, who don't know me at all. They haven't produced any video content. They just want my phone number. I'm like, no. Philip Evans has had a busy week and he's on his 6th cider and he's having trouble reading this. Never mind stringing a sentence together. Still here at the moment. Well, Philip, I think that deserves a drink. If I can hold my phone up without falling over. Well, I've got a new toy here. Not that one. Magic. Yeah, alright. to Philip's 6th cider. I'm still, yeah, Colin out and about likes the Rileys too. Happy Feet. No, 4x4 fella. Let's not jump the queue. 4x4 fella. Oh, I can't read. 4x4 fella. I'm currently cutting up some sticker packs to give out. You know the good stickers I gave you. Oh, yeah. They have been distributed, Ben, to bins, bogs, lampposts, bus shelters. There's nothing like... Yeah, I've just had a thought about what we're really doing here. We know it's impossible to wake up the sheeple. They've been injected. They're having shortened lifespans. If they're still alive, they're gone. You can forget the injectards, right? We're not waking them up. We are providing unity with those who know what's going on and why and plan to survive it. That is what these stickers are for. You will never wake up the sheeple. And I remember when I first figured this all out, it was like the second just 2 weeks. What really woke me up was banging the pots and pans, because I was in rented accommodation with zero income because all small businesses are being banned. And I leaned out the window of my £500 a month rented accommodation with a wooden spoon and a saucepan, and I heard all these other pots and pans banging, and I was like, oh, this has all gone a bit Stalin-esque, isn't it? What the hell am I up to? And that was what woke me up, was the banging pots and pans. I really believed it all, hook, line and sinker, until the pots and pans banging thing, where I thought, ooh. And then they had all of the iconography of heroes in all the shops, and I was like, yeah, it was odd. Right. And there are people who say, especially the injectards, who say, oh, forget about that. I've moved on with my life. No, you haven't. You have vastly foreshortened your lifespan, and you will be gone soon. It's the rest of us who have moved on and getting on with our lives and preparing for the next globalist assault. Right, enough politics and big picture there. Happy Feet. I'm currently multitasking, watching this live stream while trying to finish my assignment, which is due on the first week in January. Happy Feet. Tell me what your assignment's about, and I will give you a download of every single factoid and trivia that I know about your specified chosen subject. How's that? So in a way, you are doing your research for your assignment by asking someone who's 55 years old and has seen the world what he thinks about a particular issue and why. And maybe that could help you with your assignment. How about that? A 4x4 fella. Yep, it's a message of unity and can be a hopeful message when seeing them if someone is feeling down or alone. Yeah. Because let's face it, I mean, what have we got? We've got a bit of BitChute. You can't watch RT on BitChute. You've got a little bit of Rumble. Rumble's very good, actually. They've really stood up to an awful lot. And Twitter is really waking up now. I mean, I listened to the most amazing online conversation while I was at work through Bluetooth headphones with Elon Musk, Alex Jones, Andrew Tate, Vivek Ramaswamy, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and a few other of the awakened community in amongst it. That was incredible. And shortly after that, Alex Jones was back on X, formerly known as Twitter. And wow. I mean, he's already on all the channels anyway, because you've got a lot of people like me that will film clips of what he's doing and insert it into their videos, however surreptitiously. It's like when I did the long distance driving videos, I'd always have a little bit of Alex Jones truth bombing in the background, hoping to get away with it under the noise of the engine so that you could hear it, but the AI couldn't. Because one of the next big picture moves is the AI takeover. And if the AI is woke, oh, we're all in big trouble. We're basically in Orwell's wank fantasy if the AI is woke, because that's what he envisaged was a complete computer controlled machine takeover of humanity where everything was monitored and all the news was edited and deleted, a bit like that Washington Post's Ukraine section on the World News. It's disappeared. And have we? I believe we've come to the absolute end of the comments. All right. Well, we've been around for an hour and a half. Oh, I'm still waiting actually for Happy Feet. Happy Feet, you have 2 minutes to tell me what your assignment's about and to hear what I think is your electrical engineering, electronics is assignment is renewable power generation storage systems. Well, lithium batteries have to have carefully monitored amperage and voltage controls or they catch fire. Not only that, they set fire to nearby systems. So if you have, say, a fleet of buses and one of those buses on charge catches fire, the whole lot catches fire, and insurance is going up now. I heard on electrical vehicles, insurance is £4,500 a year, whereas on diesel vans it's around 300. Also, there is you probably can't mention this in your dissertation if you're at a mainstream university, but there is the global warming hoax, which is the raison d'etre of all this switch away from fossil fuels. Now, if you look at the entire tonnage of carbon that's been emitted since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, say 1820 to 2020, 200 years, it is way more, it is trillions of tons that are way more than the actual amount emitted every year, or rather the actual amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So what's happened is that as the CO2 concentration has risen in the atmosphere, the human population has also risen because the plant population has risen, which subtends a larger human population. So we are the carbon they intend to reduce. However, we're talking about renewable power generation storage systems. Obviously, there's only so much hydroelectric you can do. Now, obviously, we've tried the solar and wind power, and I mean, I've enjoyed solar on the top of my van. Brilliant for up to 1 kilowatt hour per panel per person. And that's enough for small devices. You can carry on like that. In the summer, I even had an electric oven running on a 300-watt solar panel. So it is possible, but only in the summer. I mean, look at it now. Look at it now. Right? Clearly not a solar power country. Now, you do have some places like Arizona, Cambodia, Western Sahara, where you get a guaranteed 9 hours of good sunshine every day. Their solar panel is obviously feasible. Elon Musk himself even said that all he'd need is a few square miles in Utah and he could provide power for the entire United States under the caveat that he could store it. Now, the problem with lithium and all the other trace minerals that needed to create the batteries is it often involves African child labor and Chinese-controlled rare earth elements, cobalt, tantalum, and others. In France, there was a great idea of having 4,000 mirrors all lined up to melt salt in a vat and then store molten salt, which could then be used as an element for a kettle to create a steam engine, which basically most industrial power stations are giant kettles. The whole point is to use some kind of heat source, whether it's coal or nuclear or gas or rubbish, biomass, to produce heat that boils water, that creates steam, that turns a turbine in the pressure, and then that steam is then put into a great big cooling tower that then recondenses into rain and is put back into the river system nice and clean. That's the best we've done. Obviously, fusion is the wank fantasy, the wet dream, the the golden it's called the golden fleece of renewable energy, because there's the sun laughing at us every day, going, "You're still struggling with fusion, are you?" As it just beams down a kilowatt per square meter on every single part of the solar system over the entire Earth's orbit, not just where the Earth is, but over the entire sphere or a distance of the Earth's orbit. It's a massive machine of, if you're considering fusion reactors. But we have broken even with fusion power, but it's not ready to advance to an industrial scale now. Obviously, we've had problems like 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, and Fukushima with uranium power, whether they use sodium or other cooling agents to heat exchange to create that kettle that creates the steam that turns the turbines. But it's still safer all round than coal and gas and all the other forms of electricity. Still safer and greener. Nuclear always is. But the trouble is, when it goes wrong very quickly and causes a vast amount of deaths in a very short space of time and poisons vast areas of agriculture that aren't safe. So the way out of this is thorium. That's where I believe it's going to go, is thorium, which again is a radioactive fission isotope, not as radioactive as, say, plutonium or any of the transuranic elements or uranium, but thorium could be done on a smaller scale locally. And I think that would be the future, along with local solar panels for daytime summer. Hope that helps, Happy Feet. Good luck and get back to your assignment. Thorium and local solar, local thorium, local solar is my answer, because we've exhausted all the rest. Philip Evans, best wishes for the new year. Thank you, Philip. Happy Feet, yeah, wind turbines, PV, solar and tidal. No, I know the university probably wants you to say that, but that's the Green New Deal wank fantasy. No. I mean, if you want to pass the exam, you could say that, but if you really want to propose a solution to actually providing power to people's homes, cheaper than bloody £3,000 a year, it is local solar, local thorium reactors. Right. Autospark. How does the sun stay on fire in space when it has no oxygen? My God, you've missed the entire last 5 minutes where I was ranting on about fusion power. If you don't know what fusion is, it's when hydrogen is under such high gravitational pressure and temperature that it squashes together into helium, and that releases a vast amount of energy. And that's how the sun works. It gradually converts hydrogen to helium at the rate of 4 tons a second, and that's enough power to light up the entire solar system for 10 billion years stably. Right. Hope I get better questions than that. 4x4 fella says, I delivered generators to wind turbines and charging points to the service. Yeah, I mean, That's the whole point. I mean, you think of all the effort of the enormous diesel vehicles like Ben drives, transporting all these blades and turbines uh, and motors and towers all the way out into the middle of nowhere, and the shipping and the building and the concrete, and they're all made in China and they're non-recyclable and you can't bury them. I mean, my God, are you really getting any value from wind? And when you see a wind farm, is it even powering the local population, or is it owned by Énergie de France and the French are bloody taking it or selling it back to us at 3 times the price? Diesel generators, as if too many cars are charging the same time is too much. Well, exactly, Ben, because the problem with electric vehicles is the grid ready yet to replace all of the fleets of petrol and diesel vehicles with electric vehicles, assuming we can mine enough lithium and trace elements to manufacture the damn things. And then what? What are you going to power it by? Coal? Gas? Biofuel? The hydroelectric is constant. There's only a certain amount of rainfall you can harvest. The windfall is constant. The wind blowing is constant. There's only a certain amount of that you can harvest. And are you really making any money out of wind power, or is it subsidized? I mean, I used to live in Norfolk, and I used to go to Caister-on-Sea, and you can see Scroby Sands out there, a vast array. And you can see another vast array off the coast of Cromer as well. And you think, great, is it really producing more energy per pound than locally produced solar and thorium reactors could? But at the end of the day, energy is something that has made the elites very rich through their overcharging and their taxing, obviously. And the whole point of electric vehicles is obviously not possible for us all to drive them. They want us all off the roads, and they're gradually going to make moves over the next few years to ban diesel and petrol vehicles. And they're going to do it sneakily through like expensive road tax, expensive insurance. It's not as expensive as the electric vehicle insurance because diesel and petrol engines don't catch fire. I mean, what have you got to do? I mean, the diesel engines won't catch fire, but what have you got to do to set fire to a petrol vehicle? You've got to crash into the back of it on fire at 70 miles an hour. It's really difficult to set fire. It's not like Hollywood where you just put one little 2.2 bullet in and poof, it's on its roof. Black Van and Robin, Merry Christmas, Socks. Merry Christmas, Robin. Auto Spark, hydrogen. Now, hydrogen's great. It's like the most common element in the universe, but on Earth, it's bound to something because hydrogen is such a reactive gas that it's always bound up. I mean, look at all the oceans. That's where most of the hydrogen is. How are you going to get out of there? Oh, yeah. You got to use electrolysis. You got to put some kind of power in there, nuclear, solar, wind, wave power. Get the hydrogen out. And are you going to really extract enough energy efficiently to make hydrogen worthwhile? It's like, you know, these aluminium and water powered cars. Okay, water's cheap, I get it. Aluminium? 1 part in 8 by mass of the entire soil on Earth is aluminium. You know, all the silicates are aluminium, but turning that into a metal, like this candle holder, that takes an awful lot of refinement. And indeed, as electrolysis, it's a ridiculous refinement, amount of energy required to extract aluminium from the soil, even if you get raw bauxite. JCB have hydrogen-powered vehicles. Yeah, I mean, so does Toyota. There's a Toyota Mirror that's hydrogen-powered. I mean, currently there are only 2 hydrogen plants, hydrogen dispensers in the whole country. And you can move it. It's like, you know, with LPG, it boils at -42. hydrogen boils at minus 260. So you've got to be under enormous pressure to keep that as a liquid. But it's still possible to refuel it like a conventional petrol pump, or rather like an LPG pump. You can do it. Liquefied gas, basically. You can do it. I mean, the space rockets are powered by liquid hydrogen. Some of them, not the Elon Musk ones. The NASA ones are. But how do you produce the hydrogen? You have to put a lot of energy into water to extract the hydrogen. It's not like you can just sail through the nearest nebula 600 light years away and just grab entire solar systems worth of hydrogen, because it doesn't exist like that on Earth. It's all bound to elements, commonly oxygen. The diesel generators on the wind turbines are to defrost them in the cold. Also, I can confirm it, but some say it's to spin them up on a non-windy day to show it's producing electricity. Exactly. The wind farms are a virtue signal, Ben. You know it. You know it. They need to be heated up by diesel and started by diesel. It's mad. And also, have you noticed, if there's too much wind and they rev too quick, they'll burn and catch fire. And not to mention the amount of birds that are being murdered. I mean, these tips of these things are huge. Like, some of them are 50 meters long. These vanes of these wind turbines. Imagine being a bird flying through that, just whack. You're not going to be alive before the fox gets you after you land. You're going to be so badly winded if you even survive the hit. Newbie says, FFS, this predictive text BS is a pain. Okay. Now what I do is I use voice to, because I don't have an accent, you see, is I just use voice to text, and I just say, oh, just press a button and say, oh, hello, jolly good, and it just types it out for me. But if you have any accent, especially a bad accent, you can forget that. And as for predictive texting, if you want to say anything controversial, type it. No, you can't do that. So my guess is use voice to text. Newbie. Adventures Wells. Yes, Mr. Hewitt. Mr. Hewitt is here. Mr. Hewitt. Oh, hello, Richard. I missed you. Oh, I missed a few. Ian Baker's in amongst it. Oh, do you know what? Me and Baker and I had a great laugh. We were going through the valleys of South Wales together, and we visited quite a few, and we had lots and lots of laughs. I think the biggest laugh I had was when he was playing some cool, smoking jazz music in his van, and I decided to stick my camera on his dashboard, and I was just pulling shapes of interpretive dance in the background while he was chilling out with his smooth jazz. And yeah, and love to Darcy, Ian. That was a great, thanks for being a good sport and traveling around South Wales with me, because that's been like a lifelong pilgrimage of mine to explore all the valleys of South Wales. So yeah, thanks for joining me for a few of them. That was a laugh. Yeah, Newbie says windmills take more energy to start than they produce. Well, especially if you can take in their manufacturing and delivery costs. I mean, how many bloody tons of CO2 are they in debt before they even do a single RPM? Yeah, there's Richard, easy van life. Richard, I know you tried to phone me, and then I tried to phone you back, and you're on the blower to your granddaughter. So Merry Christmas, old boy. And I will have a drink with Richard Hewitt, because he's a top geezer, a gentleman, a top geezer, Richard Hewitt. I've had so many laughs with you over the years, and you really helped me when I was down at the dumps. So Merry Christmas, Richard. Oh, it's been a while since I've had a swig, isn't it? Right, somebody say something that's worthy of me having a swig of Baileys. Happy Feet prefers his diesel car 100%. Unfortunately, as you say, they want to do away with the combustion engine. Yeah. Well, are we going to let him? I mean, we've already, 7 years ago, we showed our intention to leave the EU. And I'm not sure that's really happened. I think we're still following all their laws. We're importing all of their immigrants and we're paying for the privilege of it. Not really quite the Brexit that we voted for, but yeah, none of the policies that we're subject to either feel like our elective representatives are particularly working for us. I mean, Richard Vobes has probably been the most clearest thinking and talking man on the subject, right up there with Farage and Richard Tice, and Edward Fox, incredible chap. I mean, the awakening is coming. It just never feels soon enough if you're one of the first to wake up. Don't tell him, Els. Don't tell him Richard Hewitt is skulking in the background, listening to my every word. Richard, you're the geezer. Colin Ootna Boot, the French designed an EV ship to run using wind power. Who'd have ever thought that possible? Yeah, having sails on ships that go around the world. My God, that's revolutionary, isn't it? Richie says, ha ha, hope you're keeping well, Richard. Merry Christmas to you, buddy. Merry Christmas, Richard. 4x4 fella, the artist formerly known as Benjamin, wishes you a Merry Christmas, Richard. And Newbie is in South Wales. Just out of the bath, apparently, and looking like a lobster. Which part of South Wales are you in, Newbie? Because I explored everywhere in South Wales, so I will know where you are. And I'm from there, originally. Georgia's Vintage World, surrounded by a wind farm where we live. So many of them are locked on windy days. Yeah, they can't even harvest the energy of the wind. They are just token virtue signals, powered by diesel engines, imported from China and driven here on enormous diesel trucks by chaps like Ben. Mad. And then you can't even dispose of them. You can't bury them in landfills. So you got 50 in the chat, 44 likes. I like to see it. Yeah, Georgia says, yeah, it's unbelievable. It's mad, isn't it? It's a mad world. And this is why so many of us are really trying to push this great awakening. But I don't think you can push it. I think either you figured out what's happening by now, or you've just been injected and you're slowly going to perish of some COVID or some other disease that you believe is real. Oh, I got a zoom. I just discovered I got a zoom on the lens. Okay. Yeah, mad. 52 in the chat, 47 likes. These are some good stats. Thank you. Newbie, mince pie in clotted cream. I did actually have a load of mince pies, but I ate them all and threw them out before Christmas. I'm really bad, right, at buying food that I like and then keeping it for a few days without scoffing it all down immediately. The only thing I end up with on days where the shops are closed is stuff that I don't like. Like, I really don't like vodka pops. Really, I know you've seen me eating WKD Blues a couple of times, but drinking them, but really I'm not an Alco Pop fan. So those last for a while. What else have I got around here? I got some green tea. But I've got cereal and skim milk, so I will survive in here. Oh, and I've got muesli, and of course a bowl. So I'll live while the shops are closed. I am prepared. Oh, comments coming in. Reading glasses. Mince pie and clotted cream, says Newbie. But the real information I wanted from Newbie is, where are you in South Wales? Because I'd like to say something about where you're from, having explored South Wales myself. Autospark Pure Blood didn't fall for all the government propaganda. Yeah, that was... I've been following, and I imagine many of you have as well, the enormous statistics researched by Dr. John Campbell. And yeah, it's horrific, isn't it? It's absolutely horrific. The scale of the death has come from that. Yeah, and in his recent episode, he compared it to World War II and the Vietnam War. World War II for Britain, we've lost more people than we did, more civilians than we did during World War II already. And World War II lasted 6 years. We're only 3 years into this madness, the New World Order. And the United States had to end their military adventures in Vietnam, having lost something like 60,000 men. They've lost 600,000 people. Obviously not pandemic, post-pandemic, we're talking injection. Nasty. No long story about the temperature condition, Richard. Newbies near Aberdare. Ian Baker, do we go to Aberdare? Peter Walsh was born and raised in Cardiff. Yeah. Peter Walsh, excuse me. And Colin Ootner Boot says the government want to ban vapes as they're unsure of the long-term effects, but happy to give you a injection that was tested for a week. And what was it tested for a week on? Rodents. And all those rodents have died within 2 years. And if you multiply up rodent years into human years, it's about 10 or 20. Newby's about 10 or 20 miles from Cardiff, Aberdare. Do you know what? I've missed Aberdare on my adventures. So right now I'm being charged up by this. I mean, I'm going to go radio silent for a few days over Christmas because I don't start back again until January the 2nd. So once my spare batteries go. And I also got this one here, which is a kind of a lithium battery pack. And that's down to 14%. Yeah, so I'll be going radio silent quite soon and having a digital detox. Although I am having thoughts of how to recharge my phone, is going on the buses in Oxfordshire. They have a USB port, but it's only the 1 amp USB port at 5 volts, which is almost useless on modern smartphones. And but there is also a nice place near me, just a bus ride away in Didcot, that serves the most amazing fried breakfast. So I was thinking of going there, sitting next to a plug and charging up my power pack, but we'll see. Richie says, when I went silent there, I was actually hiccuping. Richie says, hope Keeping well, Richard. Merry Christmas. I've done that one. I've done that one. Oh. No. I just had a signal failure. Now I'm reconnecting and I'm getting back in. It's a live show. Talk amongst yourselves. Right, yes, Philip Evans. I fell for the propaganda, had a jab before I realised what was happening. Also from Tim's favourite place, Cwmbran. Oh, Cwmbran. That's that's quite a special place. I lived there for a whole year in 2004. Well, into the first 3 months, 2005, job hunting. My God. Yeah. So I was having flashbacks to Nam then. That was pretty bad, Cwmbran was. I remember I went on a walk up to a suburb called Fairwater, and there was this pub there offering 2 meals for the price of 1. So I went in there and I said, I'll have 2 meals, please. And they said, oh, was your friend coming shortly? No, just for me. So, well, you can't have both the meals yourself. He said, never said that on the sign. It said two meals for the price of 1. Give me 2 meals now. And they won't bloody serve me. So I made a real big song and dance about it in the pub. What do you mean? I want 2 meals for the price of 1. You said 2 meals for the price of 1. And I will eat them all. I will eat it all. And nobody felt hard enough to actually come up and throw me out. So eventually I got bored of having a rant and I just steamed off by myself. That's funny. And that's it. We're at the end of the comments. 68 in the conversation, 49 likes. And my God, it's 2 and a bit hours. So, oh no, I put my drink down somewhere. Oh no, I put my drink down and I've lost it. Well, that's it. Oh, here it is. Phew, I was about to close the transmission then due to a drink problem, but I'm okay. And Ben says, no sense, both would have got eaten either way. Exactly, what's it matter? Why do these people care? I mean, I went to a place, it was the White Horse in Abingdon in Oxfordshire. They had 2 steaks for the price of 1. So I went in there, I said, I'll have 2 steaks, please. Gave me 2 steaks, wolfed down 2 steaks. I think I sent you the picture of those 2 steaks. And I was like, yeah, what's the problem? I want 2 steaks. I had 2 steaks, wolfed them down, end of. Newbie, I've got your cannabis yogurt somewhere. Colin Newton-a-Boot says, cheers. Yeah, I think you ought to eat that yourself, Newbie, because I'm not going to take it. And that's it. That's the end of the comments. And the trail runs dry. And now all you're watching is just an old man by himself on a dark night in Christmas. All you have is a rain, a candle, and a bottle of Baileys. That's all that's going on here. And 56 lovely viewers. And I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So Newbie explained himself. The cannabis yogurt's for him. Okay, now that's making sense. That means I don't have to drive all the way to Aberdeen to say, no, I don't want your cannabis yogurt. Right, Merry Christmas to you all. I'm going to end the live stream now at 2 minutes and 9 seconds. My goodness. All right. Newbies on his 6, Nuki Brown. Fair play. Colin Newton about. Go watch Base Camp Chris when you're lonely in your van. Shan't. Bopper. Blah, blah. Merry Christmas, bud. I get your comments in quick because I'm about to. I don't used to even stop this damn thing. Merry Christmas, bud, says James Fraser. We got all the good long goodbyes. We got all the long goodbyes from Newbie, John Elson, George's Vintage World, 4x4 fella, Mystic Hair. You don't have to do the long goodbyes. It's okay. I'm going to, in the next minutes, I'm going to close this down. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome. Happy feet. Colin Newton about. See you in 2024. Yes. Yeah. Let's hope this great awakening gathers pace and we get on top of this madness and rebuild the society that we used to know. Hey. See you, Tim. Take care, lad. Says Richie Santoro in Coventry. Good night, Peter Walsh. Right, stream closing in 30 seconds. What a great Christmas stream this was. Just off the off chance, it was just a... it was the Baileys told me to press live. Pure blood for life. Oh, yeah. Good night, all from Newbie. Enjoy your happy yogurt. Auto Spark. Good night, Richard. Don't forget to get the jab. Yeah. Oh, I seem to have forgotten all the last 7 or wherever I'm at. Amazingly, I completely survived, almost as if that everything we were told to panic about wasn't true. Right. And 4x4 fella, pure bloods. Oh, with two fists banging. Pure bloods. Power. Thank you, Ben. Right, we've got 10 seconds left. Time to say your last goodbyes in 10, 9, 8, 7, 8.